Alright YouTube, what's going on? I had some comments on some videos that I recently unlisted that were asking about kind of my Notion dashboard and how I stay on top of like business processes and just my day-to-day like project management. So I figured now would be a great time to kind of go through everything. I've cleaned it out quite a bit and removed pretty much all the projects that I finished this year, so I'd have a clean slate, and I kind of just updated a few things. I'm going to go ahead and give you this template down below. It's going to be a little more minimal and stripped down because some of these tabs won't apply to you, but you can download the free template down below and customize it to your needs. I'll just go through super quickly what each of these tabs are and what their purpose is, so you can kind of see how to use it. So this is my home page here, and if you've never used Notion before, essentially it's just a way to capture everything that's in your head kind of in a digital space. It's kind of like a way to compartmentalize ideas and tasks that you have to do, so you're not just constantly thinking about it. The old school way of this was just like writing things down, but I like having this sync to the cloud because I can access it from my phone at any time, which is great. I guess I'll just explain the homepage here. So I used to have a lot of stuff on my homepage. I've really stripped it down. Pretty much all I have is tasks. So I'm not sure when this video will go out, but for Monday, I basically have a set of tasks that I need to complete. So, I mean, this one is follow up with BMW social media team. So this is something that I have to do. I have to send an email. So I can basically create a task by hitting new page here. I can name it like create 3D render. Click it, and then I can add different properties. I can assign like a day for it to be done with a time as well, and then once I'm done with it, I can just hit complete and it'll remove. Today is Sunday, so I haven't gone through and added all of my tasks that I need to complete for the week, but usually sometime during the weekend I will basically put down everything that I need to get done. Usually I try to keep it to 3 or 4 main things. This includes like personal tasks, but most of the time they end up just being like work related. And if for some reason I don't finish something for the day, I can just drag it to the next day. And so when I wake up in the morning after I've done everything I need to do for the day and I'm ready to start working, I'll hop on here and see exactly what I need to do. So I'm making sure by the end of the week that I'm getting these things accomplished. And I think that has gone a long way, especially when you work for yourself. You're kind of just managing a bunch of tasks on your own, and it's important to just make sure that you have everything written down. So that's how the tasks are. For notes, this is pretty much just used for a very quick capture. So if I'm taking a walk or I'm out with friends or something and I need an idea pops into my head, I'll just go onto my phone, open this page, and I'll write down the idea. So like for example, I got inspired by a tennis match, so I'll say tennis match 3D animation, and then maybe I'll write down like some specific details about it so I don't forget. And then once I come back and I look on my dashboard, I'll usually just cut that and I'll just move it to probably one of the project sections. Okay, so that's pretty much it for here. At the beginning of every year, I like to set goals. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave this up or blur this. I don't really like to talk about my goals, but I set goals based on 3 different pillars. So that's going to be revenue goals, creative goals, and health goals. Revenue goals, pretty much just about money. It's usually business focused. Make a certain amount of money per month or per year, and then also target clients or brands that I want to work with. Creative goals is anything to do with personal projects or personal branding. And then health goals is anything just related to like making sure my mind and body are healthy. And then let's go over to the work tab, which is probably the tab that you're going to be most interested in. Projects tab, a YouTube tab, a newsletter tab because I write weekly articles, a social media content planner, and then these 4 down here are just side projects that I've been slowly chipping away at. So I guess I'll take you through the managed projects. So I've separated everything into client work and personal brand work, and I guess I can just show you examples. So for example, I go to active video projects. So I literally just cleared this out today, so there's nothing here, but essentially if I was being hired for a video project, I would add it to the queue. So I would say like event recap video, and I would add that there. And then as I go through the customer journey, so like for example, I have the initial call, this is the discovery call, move on to storyboarding for the video, contract, once I send the contract, then I actually film the event, then I edit it, and then I do revisions. And I'll usually have multiple projects going on, so I can kind of monitor what the status of each project is as I'm doing it. And then once it's done, usually awaiting payment, and then once I've received payment, I drop it into the completed tab. So the template that I have is going to be empty, obviously, but you can use this in the same way. Then I have active 3D projects. I'm going to skip that for now. And then I have a CRM. I definitely have to blur this because it has people's contact information, but I just kind of want to show you how I'm thinking about like a CRM. A lot of websites will charge like exorbitant amounts of money for a CRM, but pretty much all you have to do is put the company or person's name here and just separate them into client, prospect, or lead. And then I have a list of contacts here. These were just from this year, from people I worked with. And this just ensures that I have all of their contact information if I need to reach out to them or send them an email or whatever it is. So this will probably be blurred, but I'll make sure in the template that it's blank so you can just add people in. After the CRM, I have all of my personal brand stuff. So I'll just go into that now. So for personal brand, I've again deleted all of this, but it's going to work the same way as the client project, but this will just be for personal projects, so you can separate them. And then I have just like a reminder of qualifying questions. So anybody who reaches out to work on a project with me, I usually send them these questions, and this is just to basically qualify them and make sure they're a good fit for my services. And then this is pretty much the process that I follow. This is like the customer journey, I guess. Okay, contracts and invoices. I have a design contract. I probably can't share this with you because this took a lot of time to make, but maybe I'll sell it on my website in the future if you guys are interested. But this is just a contract that I created, and I just edit it per project and send that out to the client before job starts. Oops, let's get out of there. Okay. Then I have direction. So I've actually created kind of a system to make sure that you're always doing the stuff that you want to be doing and you should be doing. So we'll start off with like services currently offered. So again, I'll leave all this stuff here so you guys can fill it in on your own. But for example, these are some of the services that I currently offer. I think I'm actually no longer in 2025 offering photo services, so I'm going to delete that. But in terms of video design in 3D, these are the services that I offer. And this is really important to have written out because this is what's going to help you craft your offer for the client that you're basically trying to target. So, for example, if I offer album artwork, I'm going to have a separate offer where I'm going to target music artists to basically pitch creating album artwork for them, which is going to be very different from pitching product visualization or 3D modeling a product for a company or brand. So I've separated them into kind of like the three different pillars that I do, which is video, design, and 3D. Okay, discovering your avatar. This is pretty important. I usually refill this out after every year because my audience changes. So when I'm crafting a new offer, I'll answer these questions. It's just like, what does the customer want? What do they want to become? What relationship do they want? What do they want to buy or own? What's their perfect day look like? And then also trying to pinpoint their limiting beliefs. And this just helps like during the sales process to kind of figure out like where their head's at. This is also really good for your personal brand if you're trying to figure out like who you're targeting. These questions will help a lot. So I've left them blank so you guys can kind of go through them. And then offer overview. I'll just leave this in. I think this is really important. This is a template I use to create new offers. I have a bunch of different offers basically for different markets and different people, but all of them start with answering these questions. So it's just about like, what problem do you solve? Who's it for? What's the end result? So like, what are the deliverables? And then like, pricing, what the value is, and then how, from a marketing perspective, you can create urgency and eliminate risk. Cool. I'll leave those in there. I think that'll be helpful for you guys. And then let's see what else I got. Then I have a YouTube page. This is the page that I kind of shared in a previous video, I guess. And these are all the different ideas I have for YouTube videos. So I actually have I have 7 YouTube videos already filmed. I just need to edit them. I actually finished that. And I have 2 that are basically waiting. They're just literally like scheduled. I'm just waiting to drop them when the project drops. So I do have more YouTube videos coming, but I'm just kind of waiting on some things. And then there is some that I'm in the process of still filming. So I use this in the same way I do with the client projects, but these are just YouTube videos. And a lot of the time what I'll do is I'll have something like written out about each thing. So like I made a photography PSP video, and I actually did a shot breakdown of all the different shots I would need, and also just some talking points. So yeah, same for this one. I had a script for this one. Cool. Let's move on. Then I have a newsletter. So I went over this essentially, but I have like a writing template. This basically just like helps me when I have ideas to quickly like capture them, and then I'll do some research on the topic. So I'll pull like quotes from books or excerpts from other articles or movies, and then I'll basically plan out like the structure of the actual writing. So that's just like creating an outline, and then I'll usually write it here. And these are a couple writing frameworks that you can use to capture attention. And for the most part, I pretty much just write the titles of articles that I want to make, and I separate them by video, photography, and philosophy, because those are the topics I'm interested in writing about. And then once I've kind of thought about them a little more, I'll click this 3 dots and I'll turn it into a page, and then I'll start writing. So let's see, I think this one I started writing. So yeah, I use the whole like framework and just go from there. After that, I have a social media content planner. So this was actually pretty packed in the last couple months, but I just reset it. I only have 2 posts scheduled. This is something that's scheduled on Monday, and the status is scheduled. Same with something for Tuesday the 31st. And basically how I do it is I have a bunch of projects. So I have 45 projects that aren't started. Once I basically talked to somebody about it, or I have solidified the idea and planned it out already, I'll put it into the not started category, and then I'll go into the filming stage, editing stage, adding sound, adding captions tagged, and then once I've scheduled it, I'll put it in the scheduled tab. Cool. Let's see what else. I guess we can go over the finance tab. Again, I'm gonna leave this empty for you, but this is just basically an expense tracker. Again, I will probably blur this out. It seems kind of personal. I don't know. So anyways, this number here is going to be like what your expenses are, and that's calculated by just filling out these expenses here. Subscription tracker. So we can track subscriptions. Wow, that's crazy. I have $173 of subscriptions. Okay, I do the same for business expenses, and then I have a tab for write-offs and also my gear list, where I just list out like what my kit is. I'll leave all that blank so you guys can add that too. I have a workouts list, grocery list, medical list. Oh, reading list is pretty cool. I have just a list of all of the books that I read this year. So all the ones that are in progress, not started, all of these that I haven't started, I'm gonna move these down into 2025. So I know what books are on the list for 2025. You can easily create new tabs for things. So under finance, maybe you have an investments tab, and you can just click these 3 dots, you could turn it into a page, add a little icon, maybe we'll put money, and then you can start writing, create tables, whatever you want, and the same can be done everywhere else. So I've separated my pillars into personal, work, finance, and health. But if you have other stuff, feel free to create new tabs. It's literally as simple as just like dragging these around and changing the names. Again, this template is going to be linked down below. It will not be filled out, but I'll leave a lot of those guiding questions and stuff that I do at the beginning of the year to make sure I'm on track for the next year. And I'm super happy that I hit every single goal I set for myself in 2024. So I'm thinking it's probably smart to just run it back and follow this system again for 2025. So if you've enjoyed, let me know. I'm going to be making a lot more YouTube videos in 2025. This is just going to cap off pretty much the last screen sharing, talking in like a little box on the corner of your screen. And I'm going to start breaking out a little more put together videos with specific topics. Other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.